So this was Hamilton Air Force Base, got decommissioned like in the 80s. And this building that we're in was a Disney movie studio for years. And then they left and we moved in. And we're in an old hangar.
So do you want to go take a look?
Yeah, let's take a tour.
Okay.
See what we do.
See what happens.
Yeah. So this is a project in Alaska, Anchorage, that we're working on, and that's the palette that you see out here. You know, we'll be doing this simultaneously. We're doing a project in Sedona, which has its own whole vibe that we're exploring, and then we're doing a project in Hawaii. So, you know, you really have to lean into the local culture and find what you can.
Right.
Mexico, Cabo, we're doing projects. So, you know, Alaska, Mammoth, Bahamas, you know, every table would be like a totally different region that you're exploring and a different palette. And that's what we love. I mean, that's why people work here, because they're never going to be bored.
EDG was known for restaurants. Eric Engstrom, unfortunately before he passed, you know, started in restaurants. How did you make that transition? What was that big break, I guess, or that one project that took you guys in a different trajectory to all these different hotels that you're doing?
When we did Spago for Wolfgang Puck in the Four Seasons Maui, it was the first time that we had done a restaurant in a hotel like that. And it was such a crazy success for Four Seasons that it caught their eye, and did then 45 restaurants for them all over the world afterward. But it got us in the hotel world. Our big break was Andaz in Scottsdale. The client, Gary Stugard, hired us to do the restaurant. I just said, who's doing the whole hotel? He said, I didn't know you guys did hotels. I said, well, you really don't, but I'd love to, and this would be a perfect opportunity for us because it's a renovation and it's bungalows versus a tower, and so I think we could do it, and it's mid-century, which we love. So that led to doing the Lido House in Orange County, led to the Montage in Healdsburg, and I told the guy, you know, we're only working on our first hotel, and he's like, that's great, we're looking for a fresh perspective.
That's awesome.
And so, voila, now we do like 75% of our work is hotels. When you look back on your life and you look back on the steps that lead you to where you are, it is, for me at least, it's not a direct journey. It's just a little hip hopping around of influences that I just allowed to sink in.
Right.
And take me where I am.
Well, it worked out.
It worked out.
You're here.
I love it. Yeah.
So we're at your house. Tell us about it.
Okay. Well, this is called the Eichler House. So Joseph Eichler was a developer in the 60s that had grown up in a Frank Lloyd Wright house. We have, you know, a huge yard, which is great, and these redwood trees, which is nice. So, as you know, during COVID, it was great because I've never spent this much time in my house ever.
And you said a lot of people do minimalist inside, but you guys are more...
We're kind of maximalists. Your house is such a representation of who you are. It's just like you walk in and you can get the story of you and Patrick and, you know, spending an hour looking at it.
All right, so let's do a lightning round of fun questions.
All right.
Okay, so what's the one thing when you travel home that you can't live without besides the necessity, you know, like the usual suspects?
Well, Patrick, whenever I can, or my kid. We love traveling together.
What do you think is your secret to success?
I think my secret to success, I think my intuition. I do have really strong intuition about people and what people are looking for, and so really connecting with clients and prioritizing what they want and then translating that into a vision and helping my team, you know, deliver to that is definitely, I think, one of my secrets to success.
What do you do for fun?
Well, I recently have been taking up open water swimming. I never truly enjoyed swimming, but now I really do. I love it. I love the, you know, just the freedom of it. Once I got into it, I realized that is actually quite liberating to not have lanes and to not have a deadline. And all of us were a little bit nervous about sharks. And then you start thinking, well, okay, whatever. If a shark comes, I guess that'll be the time that I don't, you know,
Don't make it back.
Don't make it to that meeting today.
What's it like working with your husband?
We just get along and have carved out a nice balanced way to be at work and at home. And it's just fantastic to have that kind of synergy with somebody that you still aren't sick of. And during COVID, people were getting sick of each other, but we never did. And we were just like having the best time. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
So happy to have you here.